Imagine waking up to 320 days of sunshine per year. You are in Europe. You pay some of the lowest taxes on the continent, and the sea is a 10-minute drive away. That is Cyprus. In this video, we break it all down. Taxes, residency, citizenship, safety, healthcare, cost of living, and the best places to live. Whether you are a remote worker, an entrepreneur, a retiree, or simply curious, this is the most complete overview of Cyprus you will find in 2026. Quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video constitutes legal, fiscal, or immigration advice. Every personal situation is different, and the rules around taxes, residency, and citizenship change regularly. Always consult a qualified professional before making any decision. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. Now, let us get into it. Chapter 1. Taxes. Cyprus has built a strong reputation as one of Europe's most tax-efficient jurisdictions. We will break it down into 3 layers: corporate tax, personal income tax, and dividends. 1.1. Corporate tax. The standard corporate income tax rate in Cyprus sits at 12.5%. This is one of the lowest flat rates in the entire European Union, and it applies to the vast majority of businesses operating on the island. And a 15% tax rate applies exclusively to multinational groups with annual revenues exceeding 750 million euros. 1.2. Personal income tax. Personal income tax in Cyprus is progressive. The first 19,500 euros of annual income are completely tax-free. From 19,500 to 28,000 euros, the rate is 20%. From 28,000 to 36,300 euros, it rises to 25%. From 36,300 to 60,000 euros, the rate is 30%. Above 60,000 euros, the top rate is 35%. Now here is where it gets interesting. Cyprus offers 2 major relief mechanisms that can dramatically reduce the effective tax burden for new residents. The first is the 50% income exemption. If you were not a tax resident of Cyprus in the 3 years before your arrival, and you take up employment in Cyprus earning more than 55,000 euros per year, you are entitled to a 50% exemption on your employment income. This exemption applies for a period of 17 years. The second is the 20% exemption, a legacy scheme for those earning above 100,000 euros, capped at 8,550 euros per year, applicable for 5 years. For high earners relocating to Cyprus, these mechanisms represent a substantial advantage. 1.3. Dividends. This is perhaps the most attractive feature of the Cypriot tax system for internationally mobile entrepreneurs. Dividends received by Cyprus tax residents who are non-domiciled, meaning they have not been tax resident in Cyprus for more than 17 of the last 20 years, are entirely exempt from the special defense contribution, which is the local tax on dividends. This status applies for 17 years from the date you become a Cyprus tax resident, making Cyprus one of the most efficient jurisdictions in Europe for dividend income during that window. Chapter 2. Residency by investment. Cyprus offers a formal residency by investment program, commonly referred to as the Cyprus Golden Visa, or the Category 6.2 program. The minimum investment required is 300,000 euros, excluding VAT. This investment can take several forms: the purchase of residential property, the purchase of commercial real estate, investment in a Cypriot company with physical presence and staff on the island, or investment in units of a Cyprus investment organization of collective investments. Successful applicants receive permanent residency in Cyprus. This is not a temporary permit. It is granted indefinitely, provided you visit Cyprus at least once every 2 years. Your spouse, dependent children up to age 25, and parents of both the main applicant and spouse can be included in the application. The standard processing time runs between 2 and 3 months. EU versus non-EU applicants. EU citizens already benefit from freedom of movement within the bloc and can establish residency in Cyprus without an investment requirement. The Golden Visa program is therefore primarily designed for non-EU nationals. Both categories can access it, but EU citizens have simpler pathways available to them. Chapter 3. Safety. Cyprus consistently ranks among the safest countries in the world. In the Global Peace Index 2025, Cyprus is ranked 46th out of 163 countries, placing it firmly in the top third of the safest nations globally. Crime rates are low across the island. Violent crime is rare. The island has no land borders with unstable regions, which simplifies its security profile considerably compared to many continental European countries. Day-to-day life, for instance walking at night, using public transport or living alone, presents no notable safety concerns for the vast majority of residents and expats. Chapter 4. North versus South Cyprus. What you need to know. Cyprus is a divided island. The southern part, the Republic of Cyprus, is an EU member state governed by Cypriot and European law. Everything covered in this video applies to the south: the tax system, the golden visa, the GESI healthcare system, the Cypriot passport, and EU residency rights. This is where the vast majority of expats, entrepreneurs, and investors relocate. The northern part of the island, known as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, or TRNC, is a different story entirely. It is recognized internationally only by Turkey. It operates under Turkish law, uses the Turkish lira, and sits entirely outside the European Union framework. Living in the north means living outside EU legal protections, outside the Cypriot tax system, and outside access to GESI. Chapter 5. Healthcare. Cyprus operates a universal public healthcare system called GESI, the General Healthcare System. It covers all Cypriot citizens and legal residents, including EU nationals who are registered as residents on the island. How GESI works. GESI is funded through contributions from employees, employers, self-employed individuals, and the state. In exchange, registered participants have access to a wide network of public and private healthcare providers, including GPs, specialists, hospitals, diagnostic services, and mental health care, at heavily subsidized rates or at no direct cost, depending on the service. Non-EU nationals holding a residency permit in Cyprus, the so-called pink slip, do not automatically qualify for GESI. They are typically required to take out private health insurance, at least during the initial years of their residency. This is a meaningful cost consideration for non-EU expats planning their relocation budget. Private healthcare. Private healthcare in Cyprus is widely available and of good quality, particularly in Nicosia and Limassol. A standard GP consultation in the private sector costs between 30 and 60 euros. A specialist visit ranges from 60 to 150 euros. A full blood panel typically runs between 50 and 120 euros. Private health insurance for a healthy adult in their 30s starts at approximately 100 to 150 euros per month, depending on coverage level and provider. The main public hospitals are located in Nicosia, Limassol, Larnaca, Paphos, and Famagusta. For complex procedures, some residents choose to travel to Greece or other EU countries, particularly for highly specialized care. The overall quality of healthcare on the island is considered good by regional standards, with English widely spoken across the medical sector. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, back to Cyprus. Chapter 6. Cost of living in sought-after cities. Cyprus is no longer the bargain destination it once was. Costs have risen sharply over the past 3 to 4 years, driven largely by an influx of remote workers, tech company relocations, particularly from Russia and Ukraine following 2022, and increased demand for quality housing. That said, it remains more affordable than Western European capitals, and costs vary significantly depending on where on the island you choose to live. Nicosia. The capital. Nicosia is the most affordable major city on the island for housing. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center rents for between 800 and 200 euros per month. Outside the center, the same apartment runs between 600 and 900 euros. A two-bedroom apartment in the center costs between 1,200 and 1,800 euros. Nicosia is landlocked, which makes it less desirable for those who prioritize beach access, but it is the island's administrative and business hub. Limassol, the international hub. Limassol is the most expensive city in Cyprus. It has attracted the largest concentration of international businesses, tech companies, and high-net-worth individuals. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center now rents for between 1,400 and 2,200 euros per month. Luxury seafront apartments can exceed 4,000 euros per month. For those buying prime residential property in Limassol, prices reach 5,000 to 8,000 euros per square meter in the most sought-after areas. Larnaca and Paphos, both cities offer a noticeably lower cost of living. A one-bedroom apartment in either city rents for between 700 and 1,100 euros per month in central areas. These cities are popular with retirees and families seeking a calmer pace without sacrificing a Mediterranean lifestyle. Groceries for a single person average between 250 and 400 euros per month, depending on dietary habits and whether you shop at local markets or international supermarkets. A meal at a mid-range local restaurant costs between 12 and 20 euros per person. A monthly electricity bill ranges from 60 to 120 euros in winter and can climb to 150 to 250 euros in summer due to air conditioning usage. Internet service runs between 30 and 50 euros per month for a standard fiber connection. Chapter 7. Citizenship and Passport. Naturalization. The standard route. In the absence of an active citizenship by investment program, closed in 2020, naturalization is the primary pathway to a Cypriot passport. The requirements are as follows. You must have been a legal resident of Cyprus for at least 7 years immediately preceding your application. EU citizens benefit from a reduced requirement of 5 years. During this period, you must have maintained continuous and legal residency. Absences of more than 90 days per year can affect the count. You must demonstrate financial self-sufficiency and a clean criminal record both in Cyprus and in your country of origin. You must demonstrate integration into Cypriot society, which includes language ability. A B1 level is required. Once obtained, the Cypriot passport is one of the most powerful in the world by virtue of EU membership. It provides full freedom of movement, work, and residency rights across all 27 EU member states. On the global stage, it offers visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to approximately 173 countries. Key access points include the entire Schengen area, the United Kingdom, the United States via ESTA, Canada, Japan, South Korea, Australia via ETA, and most of Latin America. For citizens of non-EU countries, obtaining a Cypriot passport through naturalization represents a significant upgrade in global mobility. Chapter 8. Conclusion. Cyprus is not a perfect destination. The political division of the island is unresolved. Summers are intense and last 3 to 4 months. Bureaucracy can be slow. And if you are arriving without a meaningful income, the rising cost of living will make itself felt quickly. But for entrepreneurs, remote workers, retirees, and internationally mobile individuals, Cyprus offers a combination that is genuinely difficult to match anywhere else in Europe. Low corporate taxes, a powerful passport, a safe environment, a modern universal healthcare system, full EU membership, and a quality of life that, past a certain income threshold, is exceptional. The sun, of course, helps too. If you found this video useful, leave a comment below. Tell us where you are currently based and whether Cyprus is on your radar. And if you want us to go deeper on any specific topic or country, let us know and we will cover it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.